Hello everyone, good morning, good evening. We are here to open a new week and to discuss ideas and to converse about paintings. Good morning, Felipe. I hope you can hear us. Hello? Good morning, Fernando. Good morning, Ruth. Can you hear? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. I can hear you. Good
Thank you.
morning, everybody.
Good morning. How are you today, Ruth?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to hear your voice, and good morning to Felipe and Fernando. Can you hear us this morning?
Shalom, Eti. Shalom, Ruth. Felipe, I can hear you. I'm fine, and how are you doing?
We are fine. How is the weather today, Fernando?
Today, it's a very humid day here. It has some raining, but it starts and stops, so it is a little cold, but it is nice. And how is it in Haifa?
It was a beautiful morning. It started with clouds, which are protecting us a bit from the sun, and during lunch the clouds moved. But it's a very, very beautiful day. It's a bit warm, but it is very beautiful here. Thank you for asking.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it.
How was the weekend, Fernando?
It was great, Eti. It was great indeed because it was possible to stay at home, to walk in the nature as well, and to read the Torah and to study a little bit. So for me, it was very refreshing weekend.
Good to hear. Do you have questions or thoughts on your mind that you would like to share before we start? Felipe, Ruth, do you have something on your mind?
No, not that I can think right now. Thank you very much for asking.
Thank you. Yes, Fernando.
I have a lot of questions, Eti, but only one question, if I may.
Yes.
You know I was reading yesterday the book of Zohar in this portion by Hanan, and the book of Zohar speaks about the importance of being straight, like to be to make the prayers and everything like in a straight form, and it speaks like the angels and everything. And I was wondering the symbolism behind this attitude to be in a straight position, you know, and to close the eyes as well. These are the two attitudes that the Book of Zohar emphasizes.
So you're wondering about those two qualities of being honest and closing the eyes while praying? This is the question?
Yes. The book speaks that you must be standing on your foot, you know, to make a prayer to God or something like this. And I was wondering, I don't know if you already had meditated on this topic, because while I was reading it seems to me something, of course, that is physical, to be standing, to the one who stand to make a pray, but it's a symbolic way to make with the body as well. So it is not for granted that I think that they emphasize a lot this idea. I can put on Discord the text after the class if you wish.
We can start with your questions. we can look into the whiteboard, and I will write few words because you're asking about standing. And as you said, it's not about so much physical standing, but it's a bit of the numbers behind the verb to stand. Let us see what the verb standing, amad, here on the whiteboard, amad, ain, mem, daled, ain, 70, mem, 40, daled, 4. Yes, we can look into the value of amad, and then we can, from the verb amad, stand, we can create, ideas, and we can continue with it. As you said, the tree of life is always standing. But this is a quite deep topic that I would like to attend while seeing the text and reading it with you on Discord.
Yes, but you already, just to put in these 3 letters, already gave me an insight because the book speaks about the reciting the Amidah, and the Amidah it is with Aleph, right?
Amidah is
yes.
with this is standing Amidah.
Amidah is with Ain as well.
Amidah is with Ain as well. Yes.
So it is to make a correspondence of form, maybe a form, to recite the Amidah, to stand. It is the same root almost. It's to unite the Yod and the Hey.
Yes. Yes. That's true. There's a lot to say about it.
Yes, no, please.
It's good that you're asking, and the prayer is with eyes closed, because eyes, when we open our eyes, we see the duality. So when we close our eyes, we connect. It's much easier to connect to the infinite. This is it. While our eyes are open, we see in the eyes of flesh, and in order to connect to the infinite, we're closing our eyes. Yes, this is it. But there's a lot to say about that, and I hope that we could correspond about it on Discord and continue the discussion there. Thank you for asking. It's very important.
Thank you, Eti. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. So now we have here a text from Exodus chapter 15. This is the poetry of the sea. And here we have a painting by Walter Crane, Neptune's Horses. Please try to describe it before we see the text and connect to the ideas. Please look at the painting and tell us what you see. Venus is here. Good morning, Venus. Shalom, shalom. What do you see in this painting?
We can see the Neptune, right, coming out from the sea with his horses.
Yes, Neptune is coming. Let's say it in English. What are the horses are riding? What is the vehicle of the horses according to this painting? Who is riding who? We have few layers.
The horses are riding the waters. Right?
Yes, they're riding the waters. Excellent. And who is riding the horses?
Neptune.
And here at the bottom we see what? At the lower left part?
The land, maybe.
The land. This is it. I would like to discuss this painting as regarding to the poetry of the sea, the song of the sea, when Moses and Israel are crossing, so to speak, the Red Sea or the Red Sea or the Sea of Time. And I would like to explain those verses with you. So now, who would like to read the text in English? If this is possible, I would appreciate it to read it in English and then to discuss it with you. Here we have the text in English.
I could read that.
Thank you, Ruth. Is the text clear on its place?
Yes, it's good. It's good now. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spoke, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. This is my God, and I will glorify him, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea, and his chosen captains are sunk in the Red Sea. The deeps cover them, they went down into the depths like a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, glorious in power, thy right hand, O Lord, dasheth in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou overthrowest them that rise up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, it consumeth them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were piled up. The flood stood upright as a heap. The deeps were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil, my lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with the wind, the sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Now who is like unto the Lord among the mighty? Who is like unto thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? And I can't see any more on my screen.
One second.
I don't know.
Does it come on?
Yes, it's there now. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thou stretchest out thy hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy love led the people that thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in the strength of thy holy habitation. The peoples have heard, they trembled. Pangs have taken upon all the inhabitants of Philistia. Then were the chiefs of Edom affrighted. The mighty men of Moab, trembling taketh hold of them. All the inhabitants of Canaan are melted away. Terror and dread falleth upon them. By the greatness of thine arm they are as still as stone. Till thy people pass over, O Lord, till thy people pass over that thou hast gotten. O bringest them in, and plantest them in the mountain of thine inheritance, the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in, the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever.
And thank you. Another verse, please. 19. Do you see?
I can't. No, I don't see it.
Does it come?
Yes, it's good now. For the horses of Pharaoh went in with the chariots, and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought back the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel walked on dry land in the midst of the sea.
Thank you so much, dear Ruth. Thank you so much for reading. Now, this is the poetry of the sea, the poetry of the ocean. This is the poetry that in the future, this is how the Bible sings here in Hebrew. As, then in the future, Yashir Moshe uvnei Israel. And those, please pay attention, those letters are the abbreviation of the book of Zohar. This is the poetry of the ocean. As this is the letter Zayin. Yashir will sing Resh, and then Hey. Those three letters are creating the word of the book of Zohar, the book of splendor. So everyone, in a way, who reads the book of Zohar has the ability to tear the sea of time, or to go in the land in the sea of time, because he is not consumed by time. Do we understand this? First of all, that this poetry is not sang, so to speak, only as a historical victory upon Pharaoh and his chariot. Every person who lives his life in time and space will go through this struggle. Do we understand this concept, first of all?
Yes. Yes, beautiful.
So everybody who walks and stay alive, though there's like the water are, threatening to consume him, and he goes in the land while having a conversation, he can read the book of Zohar, he can understand what the book of Zohar, the book of splendor, speaks about. The book of Zohar is called by the sages the upper mother or understanding. The book of Zohar is named Ima Ila'ah, upper mother, or the Hay. Again, the book of Zohar is named in Aramaic Ima Ila'ah, upper mother, Ima Ila'ah, upper mother, or the second Hay of the Tetragrammaton, because the book of Zohar basically deals with with virtues that are beyond space and time. Ima Ila'ah, this is the book of Zohar. So everybody reads or comes across the ideas which are mentioned in the book of Zohar or in our classes already deals with this realm here. Ima Ila'ah, upper mother, the quality of understanding beyond space and time. Questions so far? Felipe, good morning. The children of Israel, as Felipe writes here, the children of Israel who walks on dry land are those who are capable of creating a conversation. Conversation is a firm ground, is a dry land. Because people who are struggling with water, they're just responding. Responding is not conversing. Now I would like to look with you into the structure or to the value of Yam Suf. The name of the sea that we are crossing is Yam Suf. If we open now a map, in Hebrew map of the region, we can see that there's a sea that separates Sinai desert and Egypt. Let's look at it. Yam Suf. Yam, this is how we express it. Yam Suf. Yam Suf, because the reed, this is the bamboo that grows next to the water, is called in Hebrew Suf. Suf. We call it in English the Red Sea or the Red Sea, because during the time the two E assimilated to one, and we are familiar with the name the Red Sea. But in Hebrew this is Yam Suf. Yam Suf, because the bamboo is called in Hebrew Suf, but the sages do not read it as Suf, but as Sof. Sof is the end. So basically, when the sages are reading the term Yam Suf, they're reading the sea, the end sea. The sea of the end. So Yam Suf represents the end of times. What happens when times comes into its end. Do we understand this concept?
Yes.
Yes. Now let's look into the value of Yam Suf. Yam, sea. Sea is, what do we have here? 50? Are you with me?
Yes. 50.
50?
Yes. Yes.
And Suf, this is 80, this is 6. Sorry, it's opposite, 60, 80, and sorry. This is 60. And this is 6, and this is
146.
146 plus 50. What do we have?
196.
196.
196.
Yes. What is the square root of 196?
14.
14. Do we understand how does it work? Because 14 is, we can look at it as 1 to 4, or the letter Hey, or Mother Bina, upper mother. So opening the Red Sea, or Yam Suf, when the veil of time is being removed, and we see there's only understanding, divine wisdom that governs everything. This is the square root of 196, the value of Yam Suf, the Red Sea. The Red or the Red Sea. Red or Red Sea. Yam Suf. Now,
it is beautiful.
Now, according to the painter, this is very interesting because he painted Neptune. Neptune is the god of what? Do you remember?
Waters, I think.
Yes, the god of
The sea.
the god of the sea. Let's look at it. The god of the sea. Very good. Neptune. Let's write his name here. Neptune. Can we write it in Hebrew and see what is the value? Neptune. What is the value of Neptune? With E, he writes it at the end. Neptune, 50.
195?
190, excellent. 195 plus 1, the unity, what do we get?
196.
196. Yam Suf. Neptune in Hebrew is called El Hayam, the god of the sea. Please pay attention. El is God. Hayam, the sea. But what happens if we put those two words together? Are you familiar with this word?
Elohim.
Elohim. What is Elohim in Hebrew?
Who creates the world? Chapter 1 of Genesis.
Yes, the manifested God. Elohim 86 is the manifested God. So, please pay attention, how does it go with the art? Neptune, the god of the sea, El Hayam, or the manifested. Neptune is riding the horses. who are riding the waves. The waves are made out of water, the water of time. So the manifested God, Neptune, riding the horses, which are riding the time. Look at the feet of the horses. What happens to their feet? Look very carefully. Is it a regular hoof of a horse? Usually horses have hooves. What happens to their feet here? Do you see?
It seems broken, I don't know. Like,
try to see the details. Can you catch the details? Do they have hooves like horses which are running? Yes, Ruth.
Yeah, their horses have become webbed structure. They've become like enclosed. They're like a web. Instead of their feet have changed. They've changed structure, and they're more like a clamshell.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the sea has affected how they walk.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps they can only go in the sea. Perhaps when they come to land, they can't walk.
Good. Very good. Does their legs, their feet at this moment at the painting remind you of something? Another animal, another creature? Does it remind you of something? This kind of a special
Look like a duck.
Duck, yes. In a way, those the horses of water. Yes, this is very interesting. Yes, they can surf the water. They can surf duality. Now, the question is, how does this... thank you, Venus. Now, the question is simple. What has the painting to do with the text that Ruth was reading for us? Try to connect. Who is Pharaoh?
it is a little different because in the text we see the horses of Pharaoh and his chariot and the man who rides the horses being swallowed by the sea, right?
Now, when we think about chariot, we think about vehicle with wheels. Is that right?
Yes.
But what happens in the painting? What are the vehicle of the horses? Shelton, good morning. What is the vehicle of the horses? What do they ride on?
The waves.
Yes, they're riding the waves of time. And Neptune is like Pharaoh.
It is interesting that Sus, that is horse, it has the structure of 666, right? 666.
True.
That is a structure related with time. And Karav as well. We have a structure of 222, that is the binary, and also is related with the manifestation and time. And Pharaoh also is related with time, like Feinrab speaks. It is his structure is related with time. So in that last verse that was read, that speaks that all of this was drowned in the sea. It seems that it is all this manifestation in time and space,
Yes. Yes.
That
Yes. All manifestation disappears in time.
And if I may ask you, Eti,
Yes.
is there a relationship between Yam Suf and Ein Suf?
Yes, of course. Thank you for asking. There is a relation between Yam Suf and En Sof. Yam Suf, yes, Yam Suf. 1 second, I'll move here to write here. Yes, there's a bit of space. Let's see. Yeah. Yam Suf is the end. Yam Suf. Let's make it. And Ein Sof. Ein Sof is infinite. When Yam Suf opens, the end sea is open, we discover there is only infinity. When Yam Suf, when the Red Sea is open, the manifestation is drowning, we discover the infinite.
It is interesting that I was reading a book from Moshe Chaim Lusato. There is this 138 openings of wisdom.
Yes, Kalach Pitre Chochma. Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And its first gate, the gate 1, he speaks that all is light from Ein Sof. We cannot see it, but all we are living, all that we are, all is a light from Ein Sof. Everything that exists and do not exist, it is light from Ein Sof. But for us, it is not possible to grasp. And I can remember that he sustained this.
This is interesting because Kalach, 138 gates of wisdom, if we rearrange the numbers, we get 318, the value of conversation, and also the value of dry land. Yabasha, as Ruth was reading for us, the last verse, Yabasha is 317, plus 1, the unity, we have 318. The value of siach, conversation, and the value of Eliezer. God is in my help. Eliezer, God is my help. Question so far?
I don't really have a question, but I think that last comment you made, Eliezer, God is my help, is so nice because on the painting it seems as if there's so much waves and water and Pharaoh's horses, but right in the corner there's a lovely little bit of dry land.
Yes.
So it's always there. The dry land is always there, even though there's torrential waves. And it doesn't look too happy for us. But the dry land is there. Just see it.
Yes. It is many times, or it happens very often that things sometimes get stormy for us, and what we need is just to retreat and to take back. And this is in a way communicates to what Fernando was asking in the beginning. of the conversation in the meaning of prayer, in standing and closing the eyes. It's not just physical standing, but when we close our eyes and we focus inside, we can connect to the worlds in us which are standing. The tree of life in us is always standing, and the tree of knowledge, or the manifested, is falling, shedding his leaves, or just disappearing in time. Do you understand, Fernando, the meaning of standing?
Yes, it is. I can understand it. It's the middle line. It is the importance of connection. Maybe.
Yes.
Only a mature human being can stand, right? You know.
Yes.
Gadlut.
Yes, Gadlut. More in the Gadlut, yes, like great mind. Great mind can stand in the storms of time because he's not lured to all kinds of stories and sub-stories, and yes. Yes.
If I remember that God actually said to Moses, "Stand still."
Yes.
When he was coming up against this, I know this is not in the physical, it's a spiritual thing for us, within us, but when the torrent is there, stand still.
Yes.
And see God's glory.
True. Rodrigo, yes.
I also like the fact that when you talked about Neptune,
yes,
how his word is, how his name is creator, the manifested one. He is the manifested one, so he's not the great one.
Yes.
I like that. He's lower too. I really like that. That's so good how you explained that by his name.
He's subjected.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. He's subjected. There was a beautiful discussion in the Babylonian Talmud about this topic. The Roman commander came to the Hebrew sage and asked him, "I heard that you have one God," he said to the Hebrew, "and we have 12 gods," he says. "So tell your God," he said, "tell your God, the Hebrew God, to kill our gods." I mean, tell your God to make a war and kill our 12 gods to prove us that you have one God. So the Hebrew sage told him, in your mind, meaning in your mind, you need a war to prove, because you have the 12. You think of manifestation. This is it. Yes, Fernando, did you want to ask something?
It was in the same idea. It is that, the people of Israel, it is said that they do not have like a government or there is no king upon Israel. There is no prince upon Israel, because the people of Israel are under the oneness, right?
Yes.
And you know, we are facing elections here in Brazil this year, and we can see all around the world this politics struggling, that people are trying to find a prince, you know, that people are trying to find someone that commands. But I tend to think that the people of Israel is the one who is connected with the tree of life. It is almost doesn't matter, you know, because for this kind of people, it doesn't have a prince over them, you know. Like, I was just thinking about this, like you said about this Roman. You know, always is something different that is happening, something new that that is commanding. But for the one who is connected with the tree of life, it is always the same. It is no, it is different. I don't know what you think about this.
It is, yes, like you said, in our times, and there's a stream of news which is coming all the time from all directions about governments and about wars and about struggles. If we buy into this, and those who are in control, they're also handling the communication systems and the news. So when a person is a child, he doesn't know, and when I speak about a child, it's not on the calendar, child 354. He doesn't know anything else, so he buys this news and breaking news, and like if this was a reality. But there's a hope that in the process of growing up, we understand it just, this is what another screen or a print says, but it's not real. A tree that you see, which is blooming next to your house, is not less real, or a flower in the garden, than the news, but they make us believe that what they transmit in the TV or the newspapers that they are handling is the truth and the only truth. And this kind of messages cause people to shrink and to believe that they are nothing, and they just live for mortgages and to bring two children to school, and this is it, not expect anything from life. And also cause us to engage in troubles and in conflicts, and to cover our reality with, excuse me, stupid struggles. But there is a hope that one day a person wakes up and says, okay, this is what I was taught that this is life is about, and I reject this picture. And here starts really a voyage or a journey. Because I think that every person can experience nature, and when you go to nature and you see the stars and the moon, the sun, the trees, the fishes, the harbors, no human being created all of this. So there's a higher power, higher sovereign. And when this feeling, a person goes to the world, to the world, and he have this sensation in his mind, it's really makes it's empowering us, because when we understand there is a one thought behind all of our lives here together as humans and natures, and so there's one thought that holds everything together, we gain a lot of belief, trust, and our path in life is more clear and coherent. Shelton or Rodrigo, did you want to ask something?
Well, I was thinking about what you were saying about the 12 gods and the one God. If your God is one, then destroy the 12 gods. And I was thinking about the word meekness. I think
Mm-hmm.
perhaps it's anava in Hebrew. Um, the kind of strength under under control, power that's being managed. Not that God could not destroy the 12 gods, but um, it's contained strength. It's maybe a, and I wondered if is there another word other than meekness or anava in Hebrew that talks about that refers to that kind of having the strength, but not necessarily feeling the need to display it or um, to perform it at call or at will.
It's a great word, anava. It's a great word, anava. And this is a female version. The masculine version is being told about Moses, V'ha'ish Moshe Anav, Anav, and Anava. Yes? 1 second. Anav, Anav, Ve'anava. Like being humble. Yes? Anav, Ve'anava. Yes. It's true. There is one verse in the Bible that consists of this anava. 1 second, I'll bring it. Akev anava, humble heel. Akev anava yirat Hashem. Fearing of the Lord is akev anava, humble heel. In Proverbs, Fernando, do you have a connection to Proverbs 22 verse 4 in English?
I will try to find it.
I'll try to. Proverbs 22. Verse 4.
Verse 4.
4.
I have it here.
You have it? Can you post it?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Just a moment.
Yes.
I cannot.
You cannot, so I'll try to do it.
Yeah.
I'll try to do it. It just click Windows, Shift and S, and it colors the text. 1 second. 1 second. I have it here. You see it behind it, above the picture? I'll move.
Yes. Yes.
Second. And I would like to read the text.
Is it Proverbs 22 verse 4?
Yes.
The reward of humility is the fear of the Lord, even riches and honor and life.
Yes. And here is the word that you mentioned, anava. 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 Akev anava. Akev is a heel. So the question is, what does it mean, akev anava? when a person is humble, he doesn't show his head. He knows the truth inside of himself and he contains it.
That's interesting. The doesn't need to prove himself or herself.
Yes.
Just the truth is the truth. God doesn't need to demonstrate his power to other gods, to other entities. I think the verse 4 also is interesting. It kind of goes along with what you just said. Thorns and snares are in the way of the forward. He that keepeth his soul holdeth himself far from them. Kind of a containment, keeping one's soul from thorns and snares, as opposed to, I think forward must be the proud, maybe. That word is unusual. Forward. I don't know if that.
Yes, this is the next verse. Yes, I see this in the text. Yes. Yes.
What is that word in Hebrew? Forward. Is
Forward.
that proud?
Again, that forward. It's in the way. There is no forward in Hebrew. This is the English additional text. Is in the way. In the way. This is what there is. So, what did we learn today? Who would like to summarize?
I can try it. It is a lot. And we speak about the song of the sea from Moses.
Yes.
And that is not something historical. It is something that maybe is happening all the time, but it seems that is in the future. And we could see the idea of time and space that always is drowning in water. You make an approach about the meaning of the Red Sea, that the Gematria gives 196, which the root is 1 to 4, so we always have to return to it. And we see this beautiful painting and what means the Neptune as the manifested, and the horses and the sea, and the way to dry land, that is through conversation and through reading the book of Zohar, to being connected with what is beyond time and space, maybe.
Yes, this is it. This is it. Yes. All the discussions in the book of Zohar are evolving about reality beyond time and space.
And Iti, if I may just ask you one more question, because you said that to read the book of Zohar, this ability to play with symbols, maybe, that it is what the book of Zohar always does. It is related with Binah, right?
Yes.
And Binah is the womb. It is the womb where the emotions and the new being it's being formed and will be born.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it's yes.
No, and the question is, what do you think about this process of studying symbolic life? You know, this the Torah, the inner meaning of the Torah, and how it affects one. How is this process of bringing to life a new being? Because when we go back to this womb in Binah, we can give birth to a new human, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what do you think about it?
Yes, this is it. Bina is the, how do you say, the womb of the mind. Understanding is the womb of the mind. And when we retreat there, we can have access to infinite ideas, and there we can create a human within us and within us to deliver, meaning with the friends which are participating in those discussions. Yes. There's an ability. Yes.
Well, go ahead. I have a question when
Yes, there is
finished.
ability to create new souls. Again, new souls. Yes, Shelter.
So I have two questions. One definition I heard recently, the last few days, of soul is mind, emotion, and intellect. Is there a similar definition from the Hebrew tradition? And then the second question I have is related to the Song of the Seas and the five books of Moses, and came up on Saturday when I was studying, which is Moses said to God, "I am a man of few words," and but yet we have the five books of Moses. We have Devarim, right?
Divine.
Yeah, and so maybe it kind of puzzled me what happened to Moses, that he went from "I'm a man of few words" to the Song of the Sea and the five books of Moses, and it just seems interesting, this shift. Right? What explains this shift in the life of Moses, that he went from "I'm a man of few words" to Devarim?
It's an interesting question, because Moses said it at the beginning, when in the meeting of the burning bush, he says, "Lo ish dvarim anochi." I'm not a man of words. He was like a man of more, contemplating. So in his mind, he was researching. This is what Philon is saying about Moses, that he is the man who managed to reach very, very far into the infinite. And he says, "Lo ish dvarim anochi," or in English, "I'm a man of few words." And basically, Moses was familiar with the being. Moses is associated with the being. Like researching in the mind, he was familiar with the being. This is why God told him, "Moses will be a God to you, or will be your mouse," because Moses is dealing with a being. This is his thing. He's researching in his mind. Moshe, he is connected to the Tetragrammaton, and Aaron, his brother, will deal with the manifested, or with the name Elohim. This is why also Aaron is engaged in the golden calf, because when Moses, so to speak, rise to the mountain, it's not a physical mountain, it's the Har Machshava, because we said that mountain is the thought, Machshava. When Moses is in the mountain of thought, so to speak, he's there. Here, people are celebrating. Elohim is the manifested name of God. The value of Elohim is 86. Like in the time when Ishmael was born. When Ishmael was born, Abram was 86 years old. But when we add to the name Elohim, or to the age of Abraham when Ishmael was born, the 14, what do we get? 100. Isaac is born, or Yitzchak, the ability to laugh at reality, because we're looking at reality beyond space and time. So Moses, and this is what Moses claims at the beginning of the conversation, Lo ish dvarim anochi, I don't deal with time and space. I'm in the mode of being. This is why God is offering him Aaron. Aaron will deal with time and space, and this is why Aaron is participating in the manufacturing of the golden calf. In a way, the root of 100, square root is 10, and Philon sees this number as a complete number, and he says that the distance between 86, or the birth of Ishmael, to the birth of Yitzchak, Isaac, is the distance between time and infinite. This is time. Like we said, Elohim, or El Hayam, Elohim again is El Hayam, or Neptune. It doesn't matter how does it come, in what forms or names. This is time. But to be able to jump to the infinite, the quantum jump from Elohim, or the manifested, or the birth of Ishmael, to the birth of laughter, is 14, or 1 to 4, or the tetragrammaton, which is 4 letters, and the divine spark. Do we understand this perspective? This is why God told Abram, Lech lecha, go for your sake. Lech lecha in Hebrew has the value of 100. Lech is 50, another 50, and we have 100. And at 100 years old, Isaac is born. Not just Isaac as a historical figure, but laughter. Because 100 is 10 in the power of 2, or 10 by 10. But it has the ability, or 100 is the beginning of the 1000. Because when we double 100 in 10, in the next realm, we get 1000, which is Elef, or Aleph, unity, or 10 in the power of 3, which is 13, in or love, or 1. Do you understand how does it work? Lo ish dvarim anochi, I'm a man of few words, the English says. Lo ish dvarim anochi, I don't speak, because I think. This is why Lo ish dvarim anochi, I'm not a man of words. I'm the man of thought. I'm a philosopher. And when we need to open the thoughts, into words, it's like to take a hammer and to, break into the mountain, and then we have little stones, and those are words. Like you take a tool, and how do we build a house? We take a tool and we break the mountain, the thoughts, into little parts, and from this we build a house, or we break the thought and we have words and sentences. And the thought, in a way, is Leah, and the words are Rachel. Do we understand? And this is why also Moses was born in fish. Again, Moses was born in fish sign in the zodiac. The fish, they are reflecting the world of thinking. Though he's supposed to be born in June as a twin, he was born as a fish. There's a lot to say about this, a lot. Yes, Shelter.
No, I want to thank you for your explanation. It reminded me of two things. One, the word Ruth talked about when I think about that scripture. Be still and know that I'm God. The stillness is an experience of God beyond words. And then the other thing I thought about it, many things, but one thing I thought about as you were speaking is the idea of Moses being the greatest prophet, in that you talked about the prophet as the one who connects the infinite with the finite, the eternal with the manifested. And so Moses was able to live in both worlds, to coexist in both realms, both the eternal and the temporal.
Yes. Yes.
It was a great question indeed, Shelton. It was a great explanation, Etienne. I thank you.
Most welcome.
And if I remember it, word davar
Yes.
Is related with Shekhinah,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I was wondering if the Torah itself, till the book of Devarim, because we can think that we have that scheme that Bereshit, it is related with Keter,
Yes.
Shemot with Chokhmah,
Excellent.
right? And Vaikra with
Binah.
Binah, Bamidbar with the Zer and Bin,
Yes.
and Devarim with Malchut.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
And the var is Shekhinah as well. It is the manifested, right?
No, true. True.
So my question is, could the Torah show to us this process of marriage between Moses and Shekhinah, maybe? I don't know, this process of manifestation of the divine spark in a perfect way, like the archetypal, the optimum way of manifestation of this divine spark.
Yes, this is why he withdrew from his wife Zipporah. Yes. When God spoke to him in the burning bush, he told him to remove his shoes from his feet, because the ground that he was standing on is a holy ground, and to remove the shoes doesn't mean physical shoes, but to remove from duality, to remove from time, and to withdraw from his wife Tzipporah. In Hebrew it means tzipor, a bird, and the bird tweets, and the bird they tweet when before the dawn comes until the sunset, and then they go to sleep. So God in the burning bush told him to withdraw from his wife Tzipporah, from the bird, from the daylight, and to enter the night, to remember to enter the unknown. And from the unknown, from the darkness, and this is what later his sister Miriam and Aaron was claiming, that Moses took a Cushite woman, not dark woman, but he took the question, he took the unknown as his wife. And from the marriage of Moses and to the unknown, we have what we have. Do we understand all of this?
It's beautiful. It is. It's a
It's
journey to the
interesting.
sea.
Again?
He said it's a journey to the sea. I think it's interesting too because as humans, we often have the most difficulty with going into areas that we don't know the outcome, the unknown, the
Yes.
darkness, the
Yeah.
unpredictable, right?
Yes,
This
right,
is the place
right.
where
This
we
is the
most
struggle. This is the
most-
struggle.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But specifically from the unknown, and why Moses is going to the unknown. This is also interesting. Moshe, when we arrange the letters, Moshe is Hashem. The name is also the name. It's like a word, a term. So while going, and this is in a way, it's not about historical figures. Those are processes inside of us. When we go to the unknown, inside of ourselves, we arrive at places that even our thoughts cannot create words, because it's like, I would say, very primal stage that we don't have even words to speak. So Moses in us, Moshe goes to the unknown, unconscious, to go to the darkness in us, to deal with this, so to speak, fog, and to come out from there alive, conscious, and speaking the words. We're going to the unknown to fish the words. Moshe, Hashem is not just, again, the name, but the term, the words.
Just one thing that came to my mind from what you are speaking about fishing words.
Yes.
It is the Tzipora, I think that gives 375.
Yes.
I was looking at it. And Shekhinah gives 385.
Excellent.
So we have an yod of distance, and the tzaddik is the one who hunts the yod, who fishes the yod, who fish the covenant, right?
Yes.
Who made the covenant.
Yes, this is excellent, because in a way it mathematically shows why God asked him to withdraw from Tzipporah, from the 375. And he goes to the unknown. And then we have like the combination of withdrawing from Tzipporah, 375 plus 10, we have Shekhinah or Safa. Safa is a language or a lip in Hebrew, both. Safa language or a lip has the value of 385. 385. He withdraws from Tzipporah, goes to the unknown. And this is the marriage, so to speak, with the Shekhinah. He is marrying the Holy Spirit and the language. And he brings to us the 5 books of Moses. Because there is a gossip happening. His sister and his brother, why Moses withdrew from his wife, and we are also handling families, juggle families and service, and Moses only serving people. And this is the answer. He withdrew from Tzipporah to go to a higher realm in himself. And we take those numbers, 358, and we rearrange the numbers. What do we get? 358 is what? Mashiach, Messiah. So what is the Messiah? The one who can speak. Do we understand all of this?
It is amazing. Yes.
Good.
I was thinking, Etty, as you were speaking about Isaiah 55 uh, beginning at verse 6, it says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his ways, and the man of iniquity his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have compassion upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, except it watereth the earth, and make it bring forth and bud, and give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, except it accomplish that which I please, and make the thing whereto I send it prosper."
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any questions? I would like to thank all of you for participating in this beautiful conversation, asking beautiful questions, and having a great patience to listen and to initiate remember verses, remember ideas, and communicating them to us. I would like to wish everyone a beautiful, marvelous week. We can meet here on Thursday if you have the time.
Thank you so much. It was amazing, and thank you, friends. Shelton, Rodrigo, Ruth, Felipe,
you.
Venus. Thank you so much. Shalom.
Very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a lovely week. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.